Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope we're all doing really well. So in today's video I'm going to bring you guys along to see my riding routine with my young horse Mayo. So some of you may know that Mayo is coming towards the end of his rehab now, hopefully, fingers crossed, for an injury that he had last year. So it's a little bit boring what we're doing, it's a little bit basic, but we are now walk trotting and cantering, and we are sort of building our way up to doing like a normal schooling session now, which is just great news. I'm enjoying it so much, and it's by no means perfect, it's actually very messy, and he is a young horse and I'm still trying to teach him the ropes. So yeah, I'll bring you guys along and show you where we're at the moment. So I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please make sure to like and subscribe. We'll get going, we'll get him fed, and then we'll start riding him. You beautiful man. You look so gorgeous. You just had your breakfast, haven't you? Yes, you just had your breakfast. Look at those little baby teeth. Wow. He's such a weird. You're so strange. You're so strange. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a voiceover to this ride so I can explain to you the method behind my madness, the madness behind my method. Which way round even is it? I'm not sure. So I always start off riding all of my horses by giving them a long walk round on a long rein, especially as Mayo is in the stable overnight. So bringing him out to ride, I always make sure he's had a bit of a leg stretch. And then I pick him up and start doing a little bit of leg gills, just to try and get him off my inside leg to my outside rein, especially on that left rein, which is a little bit stiffer on. And his current place with the rehab means that we can't do too much in terms of lateral movements in the trotting and the cantering, so I like to get this in the walk before I head up into the trot. So to start with him in the trot, I just give him a slightly longer rein. I don't expect too much from him in terms of where his head carriage is. He does tend to go slightly behind the vertical. He's got quite a short neck, but quite a fairly long body and quite a big head, so he can come a little bit behind the vertical, especially at the start. So any opportunity I can, I try to give my hand forward and try and give him the rein to encourage that nose down and out. And as you'll see towards the end of the session, this does actually get much better, and his neck length does definitely improve. So yeah, I just start off giving him a little trot round. I like to add in a few walk-trot transitions just to check that I've got the brakes, I've got the start, I've got the go button, I've got the stop button. And yeah, just warm him up, warm his body up, and I then start doing some straight lines. I always like to try and ride some straight lines before I start riding any lateral movements, just to check that I've got him in both reins connected from back to front. And he's actually, for a young horse, he is actually quite straight. So yeah, he does those straight lines quite well, and I always try and use the mirrors. We're very lucky in our indoor school, we've got a long row of mirrors, so I always like to use them to check that I'm straight as well. And everything I do on one rein, I then replicate on the other rein. And then again, it's time for some more walk-trot transitions. As you can see, the going down transitions aren't perfect, but I still try and use them to get him just to just be on my seat a little bit more, just to remind him that he has actually got to listen to me. And the left rein with Mayo is much more difficult than the right rein. He likes to fall in quite a lot this way. And as you can see, he is slightly more overbent this way. He sort of just puts himself there. He does find it quite hard this way. And it is difficult where he is at with his rehab at the moment. Like I said earlier, I can't do all that much in terms of, I can do a little bit of leg yielding, like ever so slight, but I can't do too much to really school him and to really get him through from my inside leg to my outside rein. So again, lots of straight lines before I think leg yield, and he is definitely getting better this way. Definitely getting better, but as you'll see in a bit as well, the canter this way is also much weaker than the right rein. But horses are like people. Some of them are left-handed, some of them are right-handed, is how I like to think about it. But yeah, me and him are both definitely much weaker on the left rein, unfortunately. And then it's time to pop him up into canter, and I do always try and start with the right canter at the moment, just because he does find that left canter a bit harder. So I like to go into my right canter and keep him quite forward, not expecting too much from him at this stage. Like I said earlier, he's only been cantering for about a week and a half at this point. And today was the first day that I really felt that he'd got a bit stronger in that canter. I've been doing a lot out hacking, we've done a few canters out hacking as well, and his back end, although it is still quite weak, is definitely stronger than it was a few weeks ago, so I'm really pleased with him. His canter felt great. So yeah, at the moment just thinking forward, can I do big circles, big loops around the school, nothing too tight, nothing too crazy, and I don't keep him in the canter for too long, just to make sure that he can have a nice little break afterwards. But I normally would walk in between my two canters with him, but today he felt actually quite goey, so I thought I'd try and attempt the left canter now before he gets too tired. And as you can see here, that was definitely rider error, 100% rider error. I always try and think leg yielding out on this rein and trying to get him off that inside leg, and as you can see, he does definitely find it much harder this way. So any opportunity I can to give him a little scratch and to tell him that he's being a very good boy in trying. But yeah, by the end of the session, the canter definitely does get better this way round. So overall, I'm really pleased with him. I don't think too much about where his head is. I just try and think, can I canter big circles, big straight lines, and are you moving forward? And the strength will come. So yeah, I'm really pleased with him, as you can see there, just trying to give that inside rein, and he comes actually quite nicely in the end.
Well done.
So after a walk break and lots of pats, and for me to take my jacket off, I then pick up the trot again and basically do the same exercises as I did in my warm-up, but just with him in a slightly longer frame now. As you can see, he's much more relaxed. He's much more to the vertical rather than behind it, which is great. That's where we want him. And he's really starting to swing over his back now, which is great. And this trot work felt great. He gives you such a nice feeling when you get it. So yeah, starting off with the straight lines, and a good exercise I've been doing recently is riding straight lines but with a slight body bend. So not letting him go into a leg yield or drifting through the outside shoulder, but really keeping him straight but just with that body bend, and it really gets him supple, really gets him engaging from back to front. And I can use the mirrors to check that I'm straight as well. So yeah, as I said earlier, everything I do on one rein I like to try and replicate on the other rein, and I really need to get those transitions a bit better. I'm watching them back now, and seeing as I've been rehabbing this horse for a fair few months and all we've been doing is walking and trotting, my walk-trot transitions should be next level, but they're not, so I need to work on that. So yeah, onto the left rein, and it is definitely getting better this way round. I'm actually really pleased with how this is looking, and yeah, I just love this little horse. session, I like to try and encourage Mayo to stretch over his back. As you can see, he doesn't quite understand this yet. It's all very new to him, but I still try and offer him that rein to take that nose down and forward, and there's moments that I feel like he kind of gets it, so at any point I give him a little scratch just to tell him that he's a good boy. Hello guys, so I've just got home. I'm a sweaty, sticky mess. Actually really pleased with how he's going at the moment. He feels great. In my last vlog I actually said to you guys that he was really struggling on the left rein, just with like his body bend and sort of keeping him supple, but the last week I feel like he's made loads of progress, so I'm so beyond pleased with that. I probably will have put a voiceover over me riding just so I can sort of explain to you guys what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to achieve. But yeah, like I said, it is obviously still a huge work in progress. He's only been back in work, sort of in the school for the last, I'd say, only really properly schooling for about a month now. We were doing bits in the school before, but mainly out hacking, and I've only sort of just started cantering in the last week as well. So yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how he's going. There are people about to walk past me as I'm doing this, and I still cringe so much. I literally cringe so much. Oh my god, you can see how you're walking past, literally. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that riding video. Yeah, let me know if you've got any future video suggestions for me. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.